Hello, everyone. Welcome to the EOS Hot Sauce, episode number 167. I'm your host, Dan Singjoy. Hope that you're all having a fantastic day and you're excited for some really spicy EOS stories this week on the EOS Hot Sauce. Jumping right into it, the first topic that we'll discuss is the ENF's first anniversary. Then we'll talk about the EVM and Ideathon that's been announced. The Yield Plus pilot phase is now live. Antelope Updates, Eden Updates, BBS Market that is now live on EOS. The road to 10K, EOS Meme Magic, and EOS Community Events. So, first topic that we'll discuss today is the ENF's first anniversary. The EOS community is really excited, and the atmosphere is awesome as we've been celebrating the first anniversary of the ENF since they launched, and also the new EOS is continuing to gain momentum in many different ways. So it was awesome on the fireside chat in all these different places this week. A really great environment. This week, Yves Rose appeared on several interviews to share the amazing story of EOS and the progress over the past year and really thrilling visions for the future. You could check out this interview with Hubi, which is a leading exchange, of course, and Darko. They had a really great conversation that was really fun and really insightful. And that came out a couple days ago with lots of topics about the new EOS and about the Antelope update or the Antelope Leap and all sorts of different great announcements. Yves also shared some of these in the thread as well that he shared about the new EOS last week. And then before joining Hubi, he also joined Corey Cottrell and Jimmy D on the Coffee with Legends show. So this was also a great podcast. It's been really insightful listening to all of Yves' podcasts, and I recommend listening to all 3 or 4 of these that came out this week. So he had a great conversation with Jimmy D and Corey talking about EOS and the ENF since last year and all the exciting things that are going on. And then it was also a great follow-up because Yves joined Corey on the Coffee with Legends first episode back in December of last year. So there was quite a lot of updates to share and very interesting to hear it all. So yeah, in addition to that episode on Hubi Live and on Coffee with Legend, he also talked about the history of EOS as a whole. So as we covered back in June, EOS is now over 4 years old. There's a story in the Everything EOS Weekly Report here where you can learn more about that. And we also covered it back in the hot sauce. So happy belated birthday again, of course, EOS, and then happy anniversary to the ENF. One of the things that Yves also talked about during these interviews was how the ENF works and how it gets funding and how the ENF is very unique in all of blockchain, all of the world, and that it's the only foundation that emerged from the community, from decentralization and so forth. And so we talked about that a bit during the fireside chat as well. Great rants that Yves did a while ago. And then another interview that Yves did this week was with Any Observation. So as you can see, Gems is talking about how Antelope IO empowers GameFi in the NFT space. Any Observation has a great podcast channel and just does great work in the Wax ecosystem. So this is really cool. And also all these interviews have beautiful art and so forth. So it's awesome to see. And yeah, I've been really thrilled to see it. He was also talking about how all the things are working together, self-perpetuating feedback loops, but really listen to him because he explains it much better. And then also check out the weekly report from last week if you haven't yet, because it talks about the new EOS on the rise, which is all sorts of exciting things that are going along with the 1 year anniversary of the ENF. We also featured it on the hot sauce last week. And of course, you could check out articles about Antelope. There's been some new articles written about Antelope this week and how it's a major milestone. Also, Joe Lewis shared in the chat that EOS is now by default on the Apple Stocks app. So all these things working together in tandem to create more and more benefits with EOS. Also, GameFi and DAGs was a big topic that he talked about with Any Observation and Anders Bjork and the other people in these podcasts. So between GameFi and all the great developments with Web3 that are made possible by Antelope and all sorts of things going on. There was also awesome speech from Zach in last week's fireside chat and this week's fireside chat as well. Lots of inspiring conversations about what's been happening for the past year. It's been really cool hearing the community summarize the past year and reflect upon what we've done. So you can check out that new clip that the ENF put out with Zach speaking about that, and then also some more threads from Yves and all of that on the fireside chat this week. Another big theme that Yves talked about is the resilience of the EOS community, how we've been through a lot, and now we're moving forward and we're stronger than ever because we've learned how to work being frugal and being really smart. And so it's really positioned EOS well for the long term, and especially when you consider the roadmap too of the new EOS that was recently released in the quarterly report. So you can check out all these, more links in the show notes, and also you can check out the weekly reports that have a lot of great links as well. And as you can see, all of this is working quite well. People are noticing, and the social engagement and links and followers and so forth are way up for EOS. The ENF just crossed 20K Twitter followers, so congratulations to the ENF and to the whole entire EOS community. Of course, you can also check out the quarterly reports to see everything or a summary of everything that the ENF's been up to every year, and check out the blog for much more details, and also the YouTube channel, and also Yves threads are a great place to learn it in a very small amount of time, because he puts really concise threads put together that summarize these things. But yeah, congratulations and thank you to the ENF. I've been thrilled with all the work that the ENF has been doing for the past year, and I'm super excited about our future as the EOS community. So thank you so much and congratulations. Happy anniversary at ENF, and we'll move on. I'll check the chat too. I'm sure there's probably some really exciting stuff, and yep, there is. So welcome Max and Pablo and Leonardo. EOS is back and has a bright future. Public sentiment has changed. People are really positive. Go EOS, Martin and Yana and Catherine. Great to see everybody. Love handles in the chat. Daniel, Veronica, old timers, go EOS, go Antelope, spicy peppers and rocket chips and peace signs and everything. Thank you everybody for being here, and yeah, all the great work with EOS. And yeah, I hope that you're having a great day. We're doing a party cooker giveaway as we do here on the EOS Hot Sauce. So you can check out the most recent tweet from EOS Nation, and then you can go please retweet it and share it and like it and share with friends and everything like that to help grow EOS. And then also you can spread the sauce and win a party cracker NFT by going to the bounty block contest that's linked in the tweet, and then following the instructions by liking or by following EOS Nation, retweeting EOS Nation, and connecting your wallet. And then you can get a chance to win some really cool EOS NFTs. Some of them have some sweet memes that we'll discuss later as well. So check that out. And once again, thank you everybody for watching and sharing all the great stuff in the chat and all the great work. We'll move on to the next topic. The next topic that we'll discuss is the EVMx Ideation Hackathon, or rather Ideathon Hackathon, or rather Ideathon, just an Ideathon, because it's a portmanteau of both words. Anyway, dream it and build it. The ENF announced the EVMxIdeathon, which is an exciting community-led hackathon and Ideathon combo with something for everybody. It's a collaboration between the ENF and Helios. It's been in development for many months and will launch on September 19th. You can check out this tweet. There's $125,000 in USD prizes split between two different tracks, which is the Ideathon and the EVM Hackathon. There's also incubator programs and a lot of like spectacular videos that will be coming out of this and so forth. It seems really, really cool event. There's a blog post that was just released just yesterday or 2 days ago or so, where you can learn much more details about this. You can learn the timeline of the event. So registration's open on September 19th, which is just after the Trust EVM hackathon. And then also it goes until November. There's going to be a closing ceremony and an opening ceremony with keynote speeches. And yeah, you can learn about the Ideathon, where no code is required. You can just bring great ideas that can work with EOS and make a pitch deck and presentation and get up to 75K in prizes. And then you can also do the Trust EVM GameFi hackathon, building games or AR and VR apps and so forth on the Trust EVM. You can learn all the details here, and then you can also see how Helios is keeping the fires burning by hosting multiple Ideathon events like a design thinking workshop and pitch deck workshop and gamification workshop, all sorts of cool stuff. Check out the article to learn all the details. Also, well, you can check out heliosrising.com and eosnetwork.com, obviously, to learn who's hosting it and learn, and Trust.one, you can learn about the Trust EVM, which is a major component in this Ideathon and hackathon. And then yeah, you can also check out the Twitter space that's coming up later today from Helios, which will have more details about that coming soon. During the fireside chat this week, Chris Barnes spoke about it and introduced many exciting details. It was really exciting. Him and Stefan had a great conversation about this Ideathon and hackathon. It seemed like a great opportunity for everybody in the EOS community to get involved and share ideas. So check out that. There was a great conversation, and you can check out Helios to learn more about what Chris is doing and so forth. And also you can check out the last couple weeks weekly report and Hot Sauce to learn more about the GameFi hackathon that's currently going on this week and all the cool games that are built. I assume that many of these games might also participate in the Helios and ENF's new hackathon. So looking forward to see that. You can still sign up for this for the next couple of weeks. So if you're interested in building cool games with EOS, then check it out. This EOS hackathon is also, I mentioned, it's been in development for a long time. It's community led. So You could check out some weekly reports from weeks ago, and then also back in April and May, where you can hear Chris talking more about it and more updates as it's been going along. Back when Phoenix kind of took the initiative with this back in April and May, and there's been lots of chats in the Discord hackathon planning channel that people can participate in. So really cool stuff. Looking forward to this. Big thank you to the ENF and for Helios for putting this together. And everybody check out that blog article to learn more. And then also you can join, I encourage you to join the Helios Twitter space today coming up in about 45 minutes, where you can learn much more about the EVMxIdeathon. Cool stuff. Really exciting for all the great progress with the new EOS. We'll move on to the next topic now. The next topic is Yield Plus. The pilot phase is now live, and daily rewards are being distributed to 7 top DeFi protocols who are offering yield opportunities on EOS. Some of them are earning hundreds of EOS a day now. And yeah, so you can check out this an overview of the pilot phase from, I believe, last week's Fireside Chat with Denis Carrière, who's been a major architect and builder in Yield Plus, for a lot more information about this. You can also check out the blog post that came out a couple weeks ago to learn more details, and you can see on chain how the transaction was signed that put it into effect, which is cool to see all the details behind the scenes. There's also, of course, tokenyield.io, where you can see how there's 11 protocols that have signed up so far with a combined TVL of over $20 million. And you can learn a bit about the different stages and everything on this page. Really cool design, tokenyield.io. You can also check out the DeFi apps like DeFi Box and DFS and Pizza who are participating, and you can look at great stats to see where the TVL is and how much it's increasing or what it's doing and so forth. So really great work on tokenyield.io, where you can learn more. Yves also shared a great thread this week about Yield Plus initiative and how people can earn yield off dormant EOS, and how DeFi applications can be empowered with Yield Plus and so forth. You can learn more about the blue paper and all sorts of cool stuff in this thread. As I said, Yves does a great job of summarizing these in a short format to make it very easy to keep up with all the news with just reading like a 10 thread or 20 thread or whatever. And yeah, also you can check out the ENF's Twitter account, where they also share awesome tweets about this, quote tweeting Yves, and also linking to Denis' video, where in addition to Denis, there's also Zach talking about the Yield Plus pilot phase. So great place to learn. Also in this week's Fireside Chat, there was much more details. And of course, you can refer to the blogs and the blue paper and the tokenyield.io to learn more as well. So really cool stuff. The full phase will be coming soon. That's described more in that video with the with Denis and Zach. But right now we're in kind of a beta phase, but rewards are being distributed. So congratulations, and looking forward to seeing continued success of the Yield Plus initiative. The next topic that we'll discuss is updates with Antelope. So Antelope Coalition is charging ahead to further empower EOS and the next generation of Web3. We covered Antelope and all the exciting developments around Antelope quite a bit over the past couple of weeks. Of course, you can review the blog post and the past week's Hot Sauce, or 2 weeks ago Hot Sauce, for more reviews about, or for a review about all the things that have been going on. I mentioned earlier that Yves joined Anders on the podcast for Any Observation, where they talk quite a lot about Antelope and the combination between Wax and EOS and all sorts of exciting stuff. I've been following it closely, like for many, many months and years, and I learned so many new things in this podcast and all these different podcasts. So I really recommend listening to all these podcasts. Yves been sharing great information. Also, Yves and Telos architect Douglas Horn appeared on the ENF China team's Twitter Spaces this week, which had an excellent turnout from what I hear, and it seems like, well, it's really awesome to see all the engagement in China, and it sounds like the Chinese community is really excited about Antelope as well. You can listen to that and hear them speak, and I believe there's translations there as well. And then, yeah, you can check out past blog posts from the Everything Is Weekly report and so forth in the past 2 weeks to find out more about all the exciting updates. Lots of things have been happening with IBC that's coming soon, with Trustless IBC and like combined accounts, all sorts of cool stuff. There's also this week, in addition to all these promotions, there's also been lots of updates technically. So the Antelope Coalition released their most recent meeting where they're talking about Scalability Plus and faster finality and the wallet SDKs and so forth. So you can listen to that. And of course, with all these videos too, you can scroll down and look at the timestamps for everything they're talking about to see all the exciting progress. Also this week, the Antelope launch group for the Leap 3.1 shared their 30th meeting, which is all available in the playlist again. And they have detailed notes on GitHub and in the timestamps as well. So it's great to see all this development going on in EOS to make better software. The CDT 3.0 release candidate 3 has been released, as well as a tweet that the ENF put out to explain what a CDT is. It's a contract developer toolkit that makes it easier for developers to build smart contracts. So that's a very helpful tool that was just released this week. And then also this week, there's also a new video with Aaron from Greymass sharing an update about Anchor Wallet and Unicove and all the cool things that Greymass is doing. We covered that a bit, I think, last week, and there's also featured in the weekly report from last week where you can learn more. And then as a reminder too, there's less than 20 days now until the EOS consensus upgrade to Leap 3.1. So if you're running a node, then check out this article and make sure you upgrade to keep in sync with the network, and also take advantage of all the awesome new features coming out with Leap version 3.1, which you can learn about on the EOSnetwork.com. Also some cool new articles that came out this week. So much has been going on with the new EOS. It's awesome to see. We'll move on to the next topic now. Go Antelope. Next topic that we'll discuss is Eden updates. So we haven't covered Eden since back in July when maybe we covered a little bit, but that was the main story that we did back then. So that was almost 3 months ago now, the third official Eden election, more like 2 months ago or so. But yeah, that was a great time. I was elected as chief delegate, as well as Chris and Hanluka and 14 delegates. And so much has happened since then. You could check out the hot sauce from back then to see what that was like. Yeah, Eden's really pioneering decentralized governance and fractal cooperation and democracy all across the globe. So, for example, this week, Eden China published an English translation of their customized electoral system and bylaws to show how communities can cooperate with this new version of the Eden process that the Chinese community uses. Chinese elections coming up on September 17th, and you can also learn more about, you can learn all their bylaws on this very detailed blog post, and really interesting to dig into the details about how they're operating Eden OS and how it's working for them. You could also check out weekly reports from June 20th and March 21st to learn about the first 2 trial elections from Eden. Great to see democracy in Eden going all around the world, and the Chinese community is taking in their own direction too, and really innovating too. So that's awesome to see innovation on all these fronts. Also, my first Hot Sauce episode that I hosted with Martin, we talked more about that back in March. And then, the English-speaking community is also leading by example and really making a huge amount of progress, showing how communities can cooperate far better than ever before with the power of EOS. The Fractally team, just to briefly summarize, the Fractally team used to host everything, but they handed off the Eden development to Adania, which you can read about here in a post from Mike Manfredi, Fractally team member. And Daniels also works closely with EOS Costa Rica and Edgar, who was a previous chief delegate, where you can learn more at adania.com. They successfully handed it off, and the community rallied together to pay the Adania team for all their excellent work migrating Eden OS and providing technical infrastructure and writing smart contracts to implement changes that the bylaws ratified. You can learn more about this on the blog post or on the EOS community forums post that Edgar made. And so, it's really cool that a lot of delegates donated funds so that we can continue running the Eden user interface and also support Adania for their work. And now that Adania has done that, they were able to make these smart contracts to triple the EOS disbursement rate to all delegates for the benefit of EOS. So you can, of course, learn more about all this on Odyssey, where you can see all the chief delegate meetings. And then also, in addition to all that, there's so many more events going on in the Eden community. So, for example, there's the Eden positioning workshop that we did a few weeks ago that was hosted by Gabriel Shaw, who works closely with Helios. And from this, we worked on a collaborative Eden positioning paper where everybody shared their ideas. We met several times, shared their ideas about what Eden is and how Eden helps communities thrive and so forth. All sorts of really insightful content here. Gabriel did a great work editing and putting it together. And then he also took in a lot of comments from Eden community members who can still add and make comments. It's like a huge collaborative document, which is really cool. Gabriel also shared another blog post about Eden elections and the future of fractal democracy that Hernan talks about too. So thank you, Gabriel and Hernan, for all the great work. Chris has also been working with several Eden community members on a Haifa integration with Eden. So you can learn more about that in the Eden channels and on Haifa. There's now an Eden community and an Eden user interface. Also, we've been talking about Eden lots during the Eden town halls every week at Sunday at 12 UTC or 16 UTC on most weeks at least. And same with the Helios Twitter space too, which we'll be discussing more about Eden today. So many events going on. Also, last month we didn't cover it. Actually, we covered it here. So we had the fractal fiction, which we talked about a couple weeks ago. So I won't go too much into detail, but that's coming along well, and there are stories being prepared for the next version. of immutable realms, using the Eden process to write a story together. Also, the Eden fractal, in addition to the Eden election process, the Eden community is pioneering the revolutionary process of fractally on EOS with the Eden fractal. We talked about this back in June when there was the first Eden event, and I shared a couple of events about that too, of course, using fractally. So you can check out the weekly report from June 13th to learn more about the beginning of Eden Fractal, and basically it's been going really great since then. We've been meeting every week using the same process to respect contributions to EOS. A couple weeks ago, I put out an article, kind of a draft article, but still coming along, about what is Eden Fractal on EdenCreators.com. So you can learn much more about Eden Fractal here and what it is, and many more links, many articles that share how Eden Fractal creates public goods for the EOS community and where you can watch more videos and so forth. So lots of details and development going on with Eden Fractal that you can check out there, also on EdenFractal.com. This week, or past couple weeks, we've also been deliberating a proposal for an Eden interim consensus process to empower Eden with a formal governance process. That's really interesting, and lots of contributions in the Eden Discord chat. We were also planning to use the consortium app, which is a great voting tool on EOS, which Vlad is building. So many more details we can go into, but check out the Eden Fractal Discord and join the meetings to learn more. Felix and Chris have also been making really beautiful NFTs as well for everybody who's been participating. And yeah, you can watch all the videos on the Eden Creators YouTube channel and also on Felix Ruiz's YouTube channel, where he makes timestamps for all of the videos too, which is really cool. So yeah, thanks so much everybody for all the contributions here. Also, Patrick from Nova Crypto put out the Swiss workshop that we covered last week, and we talked about Eden Fractal quite a bit in the interviews that I did, and also with Tadas and Dwayne. So you can check out all these to learn more, and yeah, you can check out the Eden Fractal Twitter account too to see all the progress that's going on. So thanks everybody in Eden for the great progress, and we'll move on to the next topic now. The next topic that we'll discuss is BBS. I've actually been thinking about BBS quite a lot lately and thinking maybe it can work with Eden and also work with so many other communities too. So BBS Network recently announced many exciting updates that show the power of EOS to revolutionize social media and empower community collaboration. For anyone who's not familiar, BBS, it's a public network of interconnected message boards where people can create forums, and people can share comments and discuss ideas while earning revenue from their content. So as you can see here, they're building a mobile app. There's a video, and they also have pinned posts and other updates that they're coming out with as well. You can watch the video. But yeah, basically BBS you can learn at bbsnetwork.io. It's been building on EOS for the past couple of years now, or like past year at least. And they're doing really cool work. The name is a homage to bulletin board systems, which provided the foundation for community interaction back in the 1970s. You can learn more. It was kind of like the first social network in a way. So you can check out how it works. It's kind of like Reddit. You could think of it like a decentralized version of Reddit, where anybody can create their own message board for any subject and host it on their own website, and then they can automatically share value with all the contributors, like the admins and the creators and the moderators and publishers and the operators and developers. And yeah, you can learn more about how it works just by scrolling down the website. It's very well designed. Also, every post on BBS is an NFT that everybody can buy and sell and use to collect ad revenue and share revenue with a really innovative token system. You can learn more about that on the white paper as well. And then you can it's also really deeply integrated with EOS too. So, and it's supported by operators like EOS Nation. So it's censorship resistant, and articles can always be recovered. Posts can always be recovered. They have their mission about ensuring freedom of expression and so forth, liberty through open database technology like EOS. You can check out BBS.market to see the top boards. There's a bunch of really cool boards here, like BBS Network and MeTV and live chart trading and BBS Sports and so forth, where people talk about all sorts of interesting topics. And you can check out DWeb to learn about the technical infrastructure that goes behind all of this, and that like EOS Nation and so forth are using. Meta BBS is a channel where people talk about BBS, so you can ask questions about it and so forth. And then yeah, you could just scroll through and see people talking about TV and cryptocurrency in general. Also, StarWarsTheory.com is it's actually the first BBS that launched over a year ago using their own website. They have from a YouTube channel with over 3 million subscribers talking about Star Wars theory. So it's really cool to see all of the progress that's going on with BBS. And yeah, you can learn much more at places I cited already, and the white paper and the BBS FAQ, where they share detailed answers to all the basic questions that people might ask here. You can also check out all their stuff going on blockchain, on-chain data, and DWeb. And then yeah, it's founded by E.L. Herzog, who's also a co-founder of Bancor and Liquid Apps. So you can check out his profile there and watch some recent videos that he did on Roundtable and Nova Crypto to learn much more. And yet you can reach out to ask questions on Telegram and also the Meta BBS on BBS Market. Great work, BBS, and looking forward to exploring social media with EOS much more in the future. Next topic that we'll discuss today is the road to 10K. So the EOS community, it's on the rise, as we've talked about, and the Discord is also on the rise. So the EOS Discord that recently started just some months ago is now up to 5,000 members, and the ENF took the initiative to start up a really cool, they took the opportunity to start up a really cool initiative. And basically, they're holding a competition for the road to 10K to invite people who join the EOS community Discord and learn about Discord and so forth. There's 1,225 EOS that's up for grab, plus pop tokens that you can learn about in the article that the ENF just released. You can learn how to participate and how to invite people and so forth. Really cool initiative, and it seems like it's very well designed so people can win prizes when there's different amounts of members, and people can win large prizes with lots of EOS. So that's really cool. Thank you everybody for all the great work in joining the Discord and so forth. And yeah, this provides great incentive to invite more friends to the EOS Discord as well, which is of course a great place to be for all the conversations going on in EOS and the fireside chats and so forth. Also, as I mentioned before, ENF crossed 20K followers on Twitter. So it's great to see the awesome growth, and check out that to participate in the contest. And finally, we'll start to wrap it up with some EOS Meme Magic. So lately the EOS community is kind of supercharging creation of awesome memes. You can see how the revolution is beginning in regards to Yo Plus here. Trimbot's been leading with some great tweets with Yves riding a shark eating steroids with a spaceship and shooting guns, and also for the new EOS. So really fun and pretty ridiculous memes that are showing the word about EOS, also safe DeFi on EOS with Recover Plus, with To the Moon. And Mo was also sharing this with EOS on steroids, and the new EOS with some really funny comments and so forth. There's some really beautiful artwork too. It's well done and kind of weird looking artwork too with classic memes. But yeah, it is EOS comeback season, and the EOS Network Foundation is doing awesome work, and I'm so stoked for what they've done in the past year and what they'll do in the future. Of course, we have lots of EOS community events that you can learn about at the bottom of each Everything EOS Weekly Report. This week, there was also more discussion about the pop tokens that were released last week. Apparently, VCs are looking into it, and they're really excited about it. And so, yeah, you can hear in the fireside chat about that, and then check out the weekly reports to learn about all the events every day of the week, basically. Really cool events where you can learn. We talked about most of them already today, so I won't mention them again, but they're all going on and they're all awesome. You can check out the screen and the links in the description to learn more. And then, yeah, of course, as always, every week, Helios hosts Twitter Spaces every Friday at 17 UTC. So that's coming up in about a half hour, and we'll talk about many of the topics that we discussed today. I'll check out the chat now and start to sign it off. I see lots more comments in the chat, and yes, it is awesome. Home Dog and Ian and Max and everybody. Jesse, great work with the bees, thank you. And Andrew, and great work with Andrew, thank you. For Eden Forever, absolutely, thank you for all the support, everybody. Max with the rocket. Hope that everybody's had a great time today. I've been really enjoying it, and yeah, I'm super stoked about the future of EOS. And once again, happy anniversary to EOS. I'm stoked for the next year, and we have so many cool things going on. But anyway, I'll wrap it up here. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. I hope to see you all at the Helios Twitter Spaces coming up in a little bit. Thank you. Until next week's hot sauce, remember to keep it spicy. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, have a great weekend. See you next week. And as always, go EOS! All right, people, thank you. See you.